This is a question that everybody need to be asking themselves right now, right? You need to be asking yourself, one, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to live the life that you want to live, right? Not the life that they laid out the carpet for you. They told you this is how you're supposed to do this. I'm not talking about that life. I'm not talking about the life that your grandparents told you about. I'm not talking about the life that your parents told you should live. I'm talking about the life that you want to live, right? How bad do you want it? And that could be, and honestly, that could be any life at this point, right? I'm not here to judge you, right? I hope that you got enough, resources, wisdom, and common sense to get yourself to where you need to be. But at this point, it doesn't matter about, how rich you are, right? It doesn't matter about, having a whole bunch of money. You still need some money to make it. You still need money to eat. You want to live comfortable. You don't want to live like a roach being stumped out on the floor. You want to live like a human being, right? The whole world operates like this. So it doesn't matter where you go in the world. It doesn't matter if it's the United States. Doesn't matter if it's the Caribbean. Doesn't matter if it's Latin America. Doesn't matter if it's Africa. You're going to need resources to keep yourself above float. So again, ask yourself, how bad do you want the life that you want to live? Right. And if you've been following me for some time, and if you've seen my most recent videos, you will see that I quit my job. Right. I quit my job that I've been working at around 2 years and some change. I couldn't take it anymore. Right. I couldn't handle, or not handle, that's a wrong word use. I couldn't take living a lie, essentially living a lie. I couldn't take operating in a system that was dishonest. I couldn't handle operating in a system that rewarded, idiots, that rewarded narcissists, that rewarded dishonest people. I couldn't operate in a system like that anymore. So, and I felt like this, for many jobs ago, I felt like this. However, I needed to build something of substance that could get me over that hump, right? Even though you want to do something bad enough, right? Not all the time can you just jump, right? The same thing with swimming, the same thing with just jumping in the water, right? I mean, you can't just jump in the water and just assume that you're going to be able to swim your way out of it. That's not how that works, right? Now, if you know how to swim a little, right, that may help some to get you to shore. Right now, if you're an intermediate swimmer, now we're talking. Now you can operate enough to save your life. And of course, if you're an advanced swimmer, then you can probably operate in most terrains, right? So you can't just jump in the water and not know how to swim. I had to build up those life experiences, right? I had to hop from industry to industry and understand how to use my mind in different aspects, right? I had to operate around different people. I had to operate around monsters. I had to operate around narcissists. I had to operate around, women, right? I had to operate around jealous people. I had to operate around envious people. And that allowed me to learn more about myself, right? You learn more about yourself around amongst other people, believe it or not. You learn more about yourself when you're put into situations and environments that are going to test you, if you will, right? They're going to ask you, what you're made of, right? And time again. And now I'm 30 years old. I've been, working or, in the, labor market since around 18, 19 years old. So it took me 10 years. It took me 10 years, right? 10, 11 years, right? It took me 10, 11 years to finally get to this point in time where it's like, okay, now it's time to pull the trigger, right? Many of you or many people right now, they live their whole lives never reaching that point in time, right? And not because they can't, but it's because they made a choice, right? Even if they know that's not the life that they want to live, even if they've acknowledged that that's not the life that they want to live, right? They still made the conscious choice to live that life by still carrying on, by still living that life, right? Many people are okay with living lies, right? They fake the funk with their family members. They fake the funk with friends. They fake the funk with their coworkers. They continue to fake the funk all the way to the grave, right? They fake the funk, in the restaurants. They fake the funk wherever they go. They just, many people, they live life faking it, right? Faking like they're happy, faking like they're successful, faking like this is what they want to do, faking like they have all the answers in the world. Listen, I will never say that I have all the answers in the world, but what I will tell you is that I learn from each and every one of them, right? I learn from each and every one of them. And, for somebody who, listen, I'm real as it gets, right? I don't like to sugarcoat. I don't like to, hold back anything. If I'm in an environment to where I can breathe and I can, be who I am, then guess what? Everything is going to be let loose. Working a 9-to-5, you can't be who you are. It's just not possible, right? For somebody like me, I probably would be gone immediately. HR would be calling to the office immediately if I had the opportunity just to be just myself full-heartedly, right? HR would be right at the, let's get this guy out of here, right? So the 9-to-5 corporate system, corporate America is not even made for you to be yourself. It's made for you to be somebody that you're not, right? It creates a bunch of clones, like the Matrix, right? It creates a bunch of clones. It creates a bunch of, yes men and women. It creates a bunch of personalities that aren't, native to that said person. Everybody's the same. Everybody's in agreement with one another, right? Nobody's thinking for themselves. And I just got tired of being in an environment like that, man. Even when they ask you, right? Even when they ask you, hey, what do you think about this? It's not a real question. I know some of you OGs, y'all probably know this already. Some of you who probably still been in corporate America, y'all still in there today, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, right? When they ask you certain questions, how do you feel about this job, right? How do you feel about working here? Have you been learning anything? How do you feel about management? Like, it's just the questions are traps. They're traps. They're not real questions. They just want to trip you up and, try to get more info out of you. And in reality, especially if you're a person that don't do all the talking, if you're a person that, sticks to themselves, they'll ask these questions on purpose just to try to dig some shit out of you. When in reality, they could care less about you. They could care less about what you're actually thinking. They could care less about your thought processes. They don't actually care. They just need some stuff on you. They want you to put some skin in the game, right? And a lot of you are operating like this. And like I said before, I quit my job because it's like, well, if not now, then when? Right? And that's another question you should ask yourself, right? If not now, then when? When are you going to make the choice to do what's good for yourself? When are you going to make the choice to finally take that next step? A lot of people, they hold on to dreams and aspirations, their entire lives because they fear the unknown. They fear what their friends are going to say. They fear what their spouse, their wives are going to say. They fear what society is going to think of them. Bro, who gives a flying F what anybody has to say? Who gives a flying F about who has to think about what? Who cares about what anybody has to say about anything? It is your life. Right? It is your life and you only get to live one life. So you mean to tell me your entire life, you're going to live it on somebody else's terms? Right? And I'm not saying that, if that's the only way for you to get money, I'm not saying, just abandon ship. That's what I said with the whole jumping in the ocean. Clearly, you have to build something. Do y'all understand what I was doing? Let me tell y'all, man. And I'll definitely I'll probably put some videos in earlier sections of this so you can see what I was doing. Listen, I was building for years. right? I was building my YouTube channel. I was building my private audience, Patreon. I've been building this stuff for years, right? I've been contemplating for years, right? I've been building my character, building my mind, building my spirit for years, right? Like I said, I've been in the workforce for 10 years, 10, 11 years. Throughout those whole 10, 11 years, I've been doing other things on the side, right? I started off, I've done photography work, videography. I used to shoot music videos. I tried being a realtor. I've worked blue collar. I've worked white collar. I've tried sales. I've done ride share. I've done Uber, Lyft, right? DoorDash. I've done it all, right? I've been in there digging ditches, right? Down there changing out gas lines and gas pipes. I've done all of that stuff, man, right? But all of those experiences led back to what I'm doing exactly right now, which is living life on my own terms, right? Doing and executing what I said I was going to execute on, right? I already had these thoughts already 10, 11 years ago, right? I knew that I was going to do something. I just couldn't quite put my finger on what exactly I was going to do. But lo and behold, things click over time. Things click when you start to discover more about yourself. Things click when you purposefully put yourself in environments that are going to challenge you. And like right now, what I'm doing, this is another environment that's going to challenge me, right? Who's going to be able to tell me what, right? Coming from an English speaking country, putting myself in a Spanish speaking country, learning the language, learning the culture, right? Engulfing myself in that and dominating when this is not even the country that I was born in or raised in. Who's going to be able to tell me something then, right? See, the goal is to always put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. See, that's how I live life. That's how I feel like life should be lived, especially as a man. But you have too many men who are comfortable just being comfortable, right? Too many men are comfortable just, with the conveniences of life. Right? Take away those conveniences of life and ask yourself then, are you really a man? Right? Are you really a man then when conveniences are taken from you, are stripped from you? Right? Are you really a man if you can't handle uncomfortable situations and uncomfortable environments? Right? I purposely, stayed in situations and in environments that were uncomfortable for me. I could have left many of these jobs way before I did. But you know what? I said I had a goal in mind, I had a mission in mind, and I set out to accomplish that and to execute that, regardless of how much it was eating at me, right? So, if you want to get to points in life where you're really exceeding, you're going to have to bleed for it, man. You're going to bleed for it. You're going to sweat for it. You're going to exhaust yourself out for it. And the game is still not over. But here's the thing I want y'all to take from this, man. It's like, I feel like going through the uncomfortable, going through the unknown, right? Taking those risks. I feel like that is a way of making sure that you're alive, right? Many of you are dead, honestly. Many of y'all are dead. Some of you haven't lived life in God knows how long. Some of y'all don't know what it feels like to even live life. You've been working that job so long, that's all you know. You've been sucking up to whoever you've been sucking up to for how long now? You don't even know yourself, right? A lot of y'all don't even know yourself. So to continue to master life, right, as I would put it, to continue to master life, I continue to throw myself in the wilderness of life, right? I believe that's how life should be lived, right? In the wilderness of life, when you don't know what's next, right? When you having to, when the puzzles get all, shaken up and you got to go redo the puzzle board again. That's how life should be lived. That's how you learn. That's how you dominate life. Because when you're able to put back the pieces that were broken up, I mean, the sky's the limit for you. The sky's the limit. And, comfortability, that's not life. I'm sorry. Sure, Should there be some stability in your life? Absolutely. Should there be some form of comfort in your life? Absolutely. However, getting addicted to the comforts, getting used to the comforts, living your life on comfortable mode is not something that you want to do, right? And that is exactly what the PFP life is. That's exactly what the after pill is, right? That's exactly what the escape blueprint is. Everything that I just told you right then. So listen, man, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP life is how you should live in purpose, in freedom, and in power. Make sure you come over to the Patreon. Check the Patreon out. I have hundreds and hundreds of videos, old videos, new videos, mindset videos, the escape blueprint videos, PFP life videos. If you want to see behind the scene things that I'm doing, if you want to see if you want to connect with us on the calls that we do every single Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, come over and join the Patreon. And if you want to take it a step further, come and join the inner circle, right? You can only get through it through the Patreon. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here. And I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint, PFP life, a way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The escape blueprint, PFP life.